The Nether can be a challenge for even the most skilled Minecraft players. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can conquer the Nether by following these tips. This guide is designed to give you the maximum chance of surviving every Nether trip, with safety at the forefront of all these tips. We're going to start with beginner level tips, mid-tier tips, and then pro tips. But whether you've been playing 10 minutes or 10 years, watch the whole video because you never know when you might learn something new. First and foremost, don't bring anything if it's your first time visiting the Nether in a world. The reasoning behind this is that you don't know what's going to happen when you go through. There's a possibility you'll spawn over a lava lake, and you may accidentally walk out or have a gas blow you up and off the portal. Or even spawn next to a large cliff and just fall to your death. Either way, this is something you don't want happening, which leads me into number 2. Bring a stack of building blocks every time you go. If you do spawn over a lava lake the first trip, you can quickly build a platform around the portal to make it safer. And if you spawn in the normal area, you can make a safe room around your portal so you can always spawn in a mob-free area. But there's a lot more to it than that. Sometimes you may have to bridge over areas, and it makes your life a lot easier if you come prepared with a stack of building blocks. Use a blast-proof block like stone. Don't bring dirt. It's easily destroyed by gas explosions, and Endermen will sometimes pick them up. And if you find yourself surrounded and think you're not going to win, having a stack of building blocks in your hotbar makes it a lot easier to block them off. Another reason it's helpful to keep building blocks in your hotbar is because sometimes while mining in the Nether, you'll come across a random lava source in the wall. The last reason it's important to bring cobble or some other overworld building block is because it makes it a lot easier to keep track of where you've been. While in the Nether, you're probably going to be doing a lot of pillaring, bridging, and if you're like me, isolating falling lava pillars so you don't have massive pools of lava where you're trying to walk. So just bring your cobble so you're ready when it happens. Number 3. Do not attack the zombie piglins. You can tell the zombie piglins apart easily by the way they look, but also at a distance by the way they walk. As you see here, zombie piglins always have their arms out just like the overworld zombies. Regular piglins don't do this. They walk normally and their arms move. The reason you should never attack them is because they are a neutral mob. They will not attack you unless you attack them first. If you make a mistake and accidentally hit one isn't hard to kill. But if you're already around a lot of them, run. Don't try to take on 6 zombie piglins that are surrounding you. You won't win that fight. Number 4, bring a full stack of food every time you go. As tempting as it may be to say, I'm good with 6, I won't be long, you may get sidetracked and you may end up in a dangerous place, like a fortress, and not have any food. Don't risk it, just bring a full stack and that will completely eliminate the risk of running out, even on long trips. Number 5, always bring a piece of gold armor. Piglins are obsessed with gold. If you're wearing gold armor, they will not attack you. However, if you attack them, they'll all attack you at once, so don't think it's a free pass to kill piglins. I recommend gold boots. Some say helmet because diamond boots offer one more point of protection than diamond helmet, but if you go with boots instead, you can put an enchantment on your armor piece for the Nether that is called soul speed. But as I said, any gold armor piece will do. So don't feel like you can't go into the Nether with your gold helmet, legs, or even chest plate. Any will work just fine. Number 6, bring a shield. There's a huge amount of hostile mobs here, and a shield in your offhand is the best way to make sure you have a chance of making it out alive. You can use it to block sword attacks from piglins, arrows from skeletons, fireballs from blazes, and sword attacks from wither skeletons. Just remember, piglin brutes use an axe, and shields will not stop an attack from an axe. For 1 iron and a few planks, it's a solid investment resource-wise to have a shield. Otherwise, you'll find yourself running away quite a bit. Number 7, bring a Nether escape kit. You may be tempted to rush into the Nether as soon as you acquire 10 obsidian and a flint and steel. And I'm here to tell you, that's a bad idea. You should always enter the Nether with 10 obsidian and a flint and steel in your inventory. You never know how things are going to go, and being trapped in a bad spot with no way out could cost you everything. Maybe your armor broke, or even worse, your sword. Mistakes happen, and bringing this makes it possible to escape the Nether at any time. You may not get an awesome overworld spawn if you do this, but it's a lot better than being stuck in the Nether where death may be a certainty. If you spawn in a cave, dig your way out. Alright, it's time for the intermediate tips. Number 8. At some point you're probably going to come across a fortress or a bastion with a lava lake between you and it. Don't bridge across this gap if you're in a Soul Sand Valley, Nether Waste, or Basalt Deltas biome. Ghast spawn in these biomes, and it's very possible for a ghast to spawn in and attack, knocking you directly into the lava. Instead, take the long way around and don't worry about risking your inventory, especially if you're playing in hardcore. Number 9. Use the breadcrumb method when exploring the Nether. The way I do this is by leaving a trail of torches every 20 blocks or so. And every once in a while, using 3 torches to create an arrow on the ground pointing back in the direction to the portal. The Nether can be confusing at times, and some areas look the same as others. It can be easy to take a wrong turn and get lost. By using the breadcrumb method, you can guarantee you'll find your way back no matter how far you go. If you also use building blocks that can't be found in the Nether along the way, like cobblestone, you'll be even more sure of where you've been. Don't find yourself panicking and not knowing where to go. Always have a plan to get back home. Number 10, bring a bow. This one only applies to Java Edition. Do not do this if you play on Bedrock Edition. A boat can be used to easily trap Endermen. Simply place the boat next to the Enderman like this, and avoid eye contact with the Enderman before you trap him in the boat. You're going to want to grab a lot of Ender Pearls while you're in the Nether, especially if you can find a warped forest biome. That's the biome where only Endermen can spawn, so you'll see a lot of them. By placing a boat next to the Enderman, he'll be trapped and unable to teleport away while you finish him off. The second reason, long drops. In Java Edition, you don't take fall damage as long as you're in a boat. Hop in and take the plunge. You can always pillar up later or dig your way up if you want to. Having the boat makes it just that much easier to navigate the Nether and gather the Ender Pearls you'll need for finding and opening the end portal. Again, neither of these work on Bedrock Edition. The Enderman will teleport away from the boat, you will take fall damage, so if you're playing on console or on your phone, you're on Bedrock Edition and have no use for a boat in the Nether whatsoever. Number 11. When exploring a fortress, place torches as you go and more often than you would normally need to. Wither skeletons can spawn in light level of 7 or below, and with torches having a light level of 14, you can guess it, they're going to spawn if you space out your torches as far as you do in the overworld. If you place torches as you're going, wither skeletons won't spawn in behind you and surprise you. However, if you plan to make a fortress into a wither skeleton farm, you will have to remove these torches later on, but that's a thing that's far in the future for most of us. Number 12, bring an anvil and some gold ingots. When in the Nether, you can actually barter with piglins. The loot isn't always great for the most part, but if you get lucky, you may get fire resistance potions, or soul speed enchanted boots, or a soul speed enchanted book. This enchantment has 3 levels, so odds are you aren't going to get soul speed 3 on your first try. But if you're lucky and do get it, you can find that you can run so fast on soul sand or in soul soil that it's almost too fast. With that being said, it might not be a bad idea to only have soul speed 1 if you get it and you're not confident with the speed yet. I mean, look how fast they make you go. The reason you want this enchantment is so that you're not stuck slowly walking in case you need to run. You don't want to be stuck walking at half speed. Number 13, try to avoid the Crimson Forest biome if possible. Hoglins spawn in here and they're always hostile no matter what. If you attack them back and a piglin sees, they will attack you. Number 14, when you raid a fortress for the first time, grab Netherwort. It can also be found in bastions, but those are much more dangerous areas, and if you aren't prepared, it's a bad idea to visit a bastion. This Netherwort can be used to brew potions, and trust me, you want potions if you're playing Minecraft Survival on any difficulty. The main potion people are brewing for the Nether is a fire resistance potion. You will need magma cream as well. To get magma cream, simply kill magma cubes. They're found in the Nether. This is what they look like. 1 magma cream can brew 3 fire resistance potions, so you don't need that many to get started. But there's one more ingredient you need, which brings me to number 15. Grab blaze rods from the blazes that spawn in the Nether fortresses. 1 blaze rod can be made into 2 blaze powder. You need the blaze powder for 2 reasons. 1, the brewing stand is powered by blaze powder, so you'll need it if you want to brew any potions. But more importantly, you'll need an Eye of Ender for the stronghold to defeat the Ender Dragon. You make an Eye of Ender by combining 1 Ender Pearl with 1 blaze powder. There's no way to get around this step. You will have to find and raid a fortress if you want to brew potions and defeat the dragon. Alright, now it's time for the pro tips. Number 16. Approach bastions with extreme caution. These places are no joke. This is footage from my hardcore world where I raided a bastion. Notice how I don't run in and try a full assault. I made a window and took out as many as I possibly could before I even made it possible to walk in, and I continued to kill as many with arrows as I could. Always be listening. Piglins make sounds occasionally, and if you hear one screech anywhere near you, put some distance between you and it. Sometimes they spawn in packs of 3, and worse, you could have one or more piglin brutes. And the piglin brutes are not to be played with. As I mentioned earlier, they use an axe. Even if you go in with a shield, they can easily kill you through that shield. And worse, they have a ridiculous amount of health. 25 hearts. So don't run up to a piglin brute thinking it's going to be as easy to kill as a regular piglin. Take them out from a distance whenever possible. I recommend bringing a bow with Unbreaking 3 and Infinity enchanted on it at least. This way you never have to worry about running out of arrows. Bring your fire resistance potions from earlier, because some bastions have random lava pits, or even worse, entire pools of lava. Don't count on luck here. Be prepared when you go into a bastion. Number 17. This one's a little tricky. You can send back a gassed fireball with your sword, because while your shield will protect you from the explosion, it won't stop you from burning. Notice the damage I'm taking here. This is with netherite armor. If you can get the timing down, this is a helpful skill to have, particularly in the Soul Sand Valley biome. Number 18. This one should have been in the intermediate section, but once you have the fire resistance potions, keep one in your hotbar at all times in the Nether. You're not always going to have the time to react and switch things out. Don't bet your life on it, just keep it in the hotbar, it'll save your life someday. Number 19. If by some mistake you run out of food in the Nether, it is technically possible to get yourself some food here. Hoglins drop pork chops, and there's 3 things you can do here. Firstly, just kill a hoglin and eat the raw pork chop it drops. It won't poison you, but it only restores 1 hunger point. This isn't ideal, especially if you're in a severe pinch. Second option here is setting them on fire with your flint and steel. A hoglin that burns to death will drop cooked pork chop, but this is risky, as hoglins are always aggressive, so you'd have to be able to burn the hoglin without taking any damage to make it worth your time. The third option in this situation is to simply kill the hoglin as usual and make a furnace out of cobblestone. Of course, this option only works if you actually brought cobblestone and a crafting table. Now, if you have a fire aspect sword, you can simply just kill the hoglins, as any mob that drops food will drop a cooked variant of the food if they are killed by a fire aspect sword. Either way, you have multiple ways of acquiring food in the Nether if you run out, but tread lightly. Number 20. This is the big one, and I believe a lot of people don't realize they can do this, but they absolutely should. Craft golden apples. I know what you're thinking, that takes 8 gold ingots. But the reality is, you don't need that many golden apples to be safe in the Nether. Having 3 is enough to help significantly. A golden apple offers you regen 2 for 5 seconds, which can save your life if you don't have time to wait for your hunger bar to go up. And getting 2 bonus hearts further ups your chance of surviving if you get into an extremely bad spot. Gold in the overworld is rare, but it's well worth spending some gold on a few golden apples if it means you have a better chance of surviving. Don't use them as your normal food. Only use them if you find yourself in extreme danger and think you might die. Also, if you can, get golden carrots. They have the highest saturation of any food, meaning you'll end up eating less. As I said, this guide was designed to give you the maximum chance of survival, sparing no expense. If you made it to the end, you are more prepared than the majority of Minecraft players for the challenges that await you in the Nether. If you have any questions, write them in the comments below, and requests are always welcome. Go check out my hardcore series. It's in the early stages still, and anyone who gets in this early can tell me what they want to see here and leave their mark on my world and this channel forever. Thank you for watching.